if I had a situation where I knew like a certain gang was out to get me or whatever else, I would just cooperate with the police. And I'd be like, nah, that.
You will say, right?
Yeah.
But he was hanging around some street shit or whatever you want, because you hanging around some street shit, you gonna get into some street shit.
In a recent interview with VladTV, Tony Yayo, the renowned rapper and member of the legendary G-Unit crew, set the stage for what could be a seismic shift in the world of hip-hop. With conviction in his voice and a steely resolve in his eyes, Yayo raised the stakes by implicating none other than Sean Puffy Combs, widely known as P. Diddy, in the mysterious assassination of the iconic Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls. Yayo minced no words as he stated, everything indicates that Diddy was involved in this, and this is not another empty accusation. He had specific questions for Diddy, igniting a firestorm of speculation in the rap community.
Without that. And then us coming up, 50 and everybody, what you made think they get bulletproof trucks for?
The explosive nature of Yayo's accusations left fans and critics alike on edge, demanding answers to what has remained an unsolved puzzle for far too long. But before we delve into Yayo's shocking allegations, it's imperative to rewind the clock and uncover the tumultuous history that led us to this moment. The tale of Biggie's rise to stardom and the treacherous path he walked, intertwined with the demise of Tupac Shakur, is a narrative that has left an indelible mark on the hip-hop world. Christopher Wallace, born on May 21, 1972, in the gritty heart of Brooklyn, New York, faced a turbulent upbringing marred by the omnipresent specter of substances and violence. Biggie's early life was an immersion into a world of hustlers and addicts, setting the stage for his eventual immersion into the substance trade. In his own words, hustlers were my heroes. It was a world where everything happened right on the streets where he grew up.
You take two executives in the business. You take me, you take Puffy. Biggie was hot as a mother. I like Biggie on the microphone. Can't take that from Biggie.
At the tender age of 17, Biggie found himself behind bars, arrested for selling substances. His time in a North Carolina prison served as a pivotal point in his life, a turning of the tide that would see him pivot toward music. Biggie's journey as a musician began, and he quickly gained recognition within his neighborhood as a budding artist. His talent caught the ear of Mr. C, a well-known DJ, leading to his feature in The Source, a prestigious hip-hop publication. But it was Sean Puffy Combs, the visionary behind Bad Boy Entertainment, who would provide the platform for Biggie to shine. The release of Biggie's debut album, Ready to Die, in 1994 catapulted him to stardom, with hits like Juicy and Big Papa solidifying his status as a hip-hop luminary. Biggie's lyrical prowess earned him accolades such as Best New Artist, Best Live Performer, and Lyricist of the Year from The Source, firmly establishing him as a force to be reckoned with in the industry. Despite his meteoric rise, Biggie's newfound fame came with its own set of challenges. Success brought unwanted attention and fears for his safety.
You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we was going, we had to, keep our eyes open, 10 toes on the ground.
In 1994, he confessed to the New York Times about his paranoia, admitting that he jumped at every sound, constantly fearing for his life. This fear would eventually manifest as aggression, leading to several violent incidents.
We had to stay heated and make sure that we protected ourselves, you know what I'm saying?
The most infamous feud during this period was the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, with Biggie representing the East alongside Combs. The feud intensified in 1994 when Tupac Shakur, along with a Wu-Tang Clan member, was shot and robbed, with Shakur accusing Biggie and Combs of orchestrating the attack. East Coast-West Coast tensions boiled over, culminating in Shakur's assassination in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas in September 1996. Rumors immediately swirled about Biggie's involvement.
I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim.
The feud took a dark turn, with Shakur releasing tracks like Against All Odds and the notorious Hit 'Em Up targeting Biggie and Bad Boy Records. The media frenzy forced fans to choose sides, escalating the coastal war to a fever pitch.
When the whole East-West thing started, we were caught off guard, and that broke my man's heart.
Tupac's assassination left the hip-hop world stunned and Biggie in constant fear for his own life. The tragic end to Shakur's life fueled suspicions that Biggie's demise could be an act of retaliation.
Pac is a strong dude, yo. I know dude, you know what I'm saying?
Very
He's real strong. So when it was like he got shot, I was just more like, again?
On March 9, 1997, just months after Shakur's assassination, Biggie met a similarly gruesome fate. Sitting in an SUV after leaving the Soul Train Music Awards in Los Angeles, another vehicle pulled up beside him and opened fire, ending the life of the young rapper at just 24 years old. The music world reeled from Biggie's assassination, fearing a full-scale war in hip-hop, but answers remained elusive. Speculation swirled, with some accusing the Los Angeles Police Department of harboring rogue officers involved in the assassination. Filmmaker Nick Broomfield's documentary, Biggie and Tupac Shakur, and former LAPD detective Greg Kading's investigation shed light on potential suspects, but the case remained unsolved.
Well, Puffy's aware that the FBI's been watching him.
Kading asserted that PP Diddy hired Crips gang member Dwayne Keith Keffy D. Davis to assassinate Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight, fueling the ongoing feud. He suggested that Keffy D's nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, was responsible for Shakur's assassination. In retaliation, Kading proposed that Suge Knight hired Bloods gang member Wardle Poochie Faust to assassinate the notorious B.I.G. The allegations left gaping holes in the narrative, leaving the world to question whether the truth would ever emerge about Biggie's tragic demise. With this turbulent backdrop, Tony Yayo's explosive accusations against P. Diddy have rocked the hip-hop world to its core. Yayo's assertion that everything indicates that Diddy was involved has sent shockwaves through the industry, reigniting interest in the unsolved assassination of Biggie Smalls. But the question remains, what specific evidence does Yayo have that could implicate Diddy? During the course of the interview, Tony Yayo delved deeper into his accusations against Diddy, casting a piercing spotlight on the mogul's decision-making in the fraught days leading up to Biggie's assassination. With a sense of incredulity, he pondered why Puffy, a multimillionaire, had chosen to align himself with the Southside Crips, a decision that Yayo believed set off a chain of events culminating in Biggie's tragic demise.
Puffy, who's a multimillionaire, decides to align himself with the Southside Crips. So now you got this whole gang going back and forth.
The interviewer, VladTV, shared Yayo's astonishment, reflecting on how Puffy could have opted for police or military security given his stature and wealth. Me, personally, if I had a situation where I knew like a certain gang was out to get me or whatever else, I would just cooperate with the police and I'd be like, nah, that. I would get off duty or active police officers as security or ex-CIA dudes. Vlad mused, his words carrying the weight of experience. He further highlighted the unfortunate reality that the decisions made in those critical moments led to the loss of a beloved artist. Tony Yayo, however, wasn't done dissecting the circumstances surrounding Biggie's untimely demise. He continued to question Puffy's choices, emphasizing that Puffy may not have seen himself as a civilian and therefore justified aligning with street figures.
Because you might could say he's a civilian, but Puffy don't feel like he's a civilian.
He had Wolf with him, he had Roger Bonds with him, but like why? Why is this my question?
In the midst of their intense conversation, VladTV made a critical observation that echoed through the room like an ominous prophecy. After Pat got assassinated, Biggie had to me. Biggie had no business being in LA. That's just all I say when I look at Biggie and Shakur, Vlad asserted, his voice laden with a sense of inevitability. He emphasized that Biggie, though a street-savvy individual, should have been shielded from the dangerous milieu of Los Angeles, especially after Shakur's assassination. Yayo wholeheartedly agreed with Vlad's assessment, expressing disbelief at the decisions that had placed Biggie in such a vulnerable position.
I just feel like
it wasn't a random shooting.
After Pac got Biggie had no business being in LA.
Their conversation oscillated between criticism and disbelief, with both Yayo and VladTV questioning the choices made by those responsible for Biggie's security. Vlad's words seemed to hang in the air like a haunting refrain. What you made, think they get bulletproof trucks. As the interview drew to a close, it was clear that Tony Yayo's allegations had opened a Pandora's box of questions, placing the spotlight squarely on P. Diddy's role in the turbulent events that had rocked the hip-hop world in the late 90s.
Like, I just wouldn't have had Biggie in LA. I would have kept him in New York. No disrespect to the Source Awards, but the Source Awards. I would have kept him there.
The explosive allegations made by Tony Yayo in his recent VladTV interview have ignited a firestorm of speculation and introspection within the hip-hop community. As the conversation unfolded, it became painfully clear that a series of questionable decisions and circumstances had conspired to place the late Biggie Smalls, aka the notorious B.I.G., in grave danger. One pressing question that continues to linger is why P. Diddy, the iconic music mogul with vast resources at his disposal, did not provide proper security for his prized artist. It's a query that gnaws at the conscience of fans and industry insiders alike. The comment section under the interview sheds light on the sentiment shared by many. One commenter asserted Puffy was wrong for taking his artist to LA point blank period. The sentiment is clear. P. Diddy's decision to bring Biggie to the volatile terrain of Los Angeles was, in hindsight, a grave mistake. The prevailing belief is that this decision was reckless, putting the life of an immensely talented artist at risk. Another fan echoed this sentiment, highlighting the sophistication of Biggie's assassination, saying the Biggie case was very sophisticated and well orchestrated. This observation only deepens the suspicion surrounding the circumstances of Biggie's demise. It raises the question of whether there was a larger, more sinister force at play, or if P. Diddy's greed and unprofessionalism led to the tragic loss of a rap legend. The sentiment in the comments is unequivocal. Puffy's actions, or lack thereof, have left a lingering sense of betrayal among fans. It's clear that many feel that Biggie Smalls was sacrificed in the pursuit of wealth and fame, an unforgivable act that continues to haunt the legacy of both the rapper and his mentor, P. Diddy. Now, we turn to you, our devoted viewers and hip-hop enthusiasts, to join this crucial conversation. Do you think P. Diddy's decisions were driven by ulterior motives, or was it simply a case of negligence and unprofessionalism that led to the tragedy that befell Biggie Smalls? And given the dangerous terrain of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, was there ever a safe way for Biggie to navigate those treacherous waters? We invite you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments section below. Until next time, keep your ears to the ground and your eyes on the stars.